If we think about the journey that we've been on over the last 20 years, it's about being able to constantly evolve and think about that continuous improvement type approach to trying to solve the problem, right? Money laundering and fraud are not problems that you can solve today and they stay solved forever. It's constantly trying to work to find better ways to be able to detect financial crime, allow banks to be more efficient in terms of trying to be able to find it and really stopping the flow of those illicit funds. So if you think about some of the kinds of things that we've done over the last 20 years to try and drive that continuous improvement and innovation, we were one of the very first movers to the cloud, thinking about how to try and look for financial crime across financial institutions, trying to find ways to be able to, look at big data and be able to say, how can we actually use the shared intelligence of multiple institutions so that every institution can have a better chance to be able to detect those types of money laundering and fraud. Those are some of the kinds of innovations that we've come up with over the 20 years that we're in business, but still allow us to be able to drive, future change and better approaches to identifying financial crime. It was building blocks along the way, right? So first of all, if you think about the approach to trying to detect financial crime, it's about looking at customers' behaviors and thinking more about it in terms of trying to identify anomalous behavior as opposed to just if the customer does X, Y, and Z, then generate an alert, right? So you think about some of those kinds of underlying things. But as we moved to the cloud and we started thinking about the power that we have now of being able to link financial institutions together, be able to see trends across financial institutions, it's allowed us to open up doors to much more innovative types of technology. I think about machine learning, artificial intelligence, all these kinds of things that people talk about today. The biggest challenge that most financial institutions have when it comes to trying to implement something like machine learning is they simply don't have enough training data to be able to have a system understand what's fraud and what's not. Well, because we use the cloud and our 2,000 plus financial institutions are all within that same environment, we can actually look across all of our institutions for instances of fraud to be able to train a model to identify it and do things that no single financial institution can do by themselves. Really allow us to be able to think differently about trying to solve the problem. Those are the kinds of ways that we've been able to continuously improve the detection capabilities and the effectiveness of the application over the last 20 years. So as part of Nasdaq, I think one of the things that we were most excited about is the ability for this new division to help take our product into larger and larger financial institutions and also to be able to go international. If you think about the footprint of the anti-financial crime division now within Nasdaq, across surveillance and Verafin, we have customers around the world in all different types of financial institutions, from tier ones to broker dealers, to the smallest community banks in the US. And because we have that visibility now, and because we have that, team approach now to being able to see, okay, well, where can we bring the division? I think that's probably one of the things that we're most excited about, because it is this idea of continuing to drive into larger financial institutions, into international markets, so that we continue to try and get to this long-term vision, right? Protecting all the world's financial interactions. We have to do that as a group and we have to do that internationally.